Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So after posting the McNipple video and before I post the deforestation video, I thought I had to veganize the classic McChicken sandwich. Not gonna lie, it used to be one of my favorite sandwiches. The flavor and crunch, that's still my all-time favorite to be honest. Now, I've watched multiple how to make McChicken at home videos, but all their breading and batter just don't look right. So in this video, I'm going to perfectly nail that unique taste and crispy outside layer without any complicated breading process. And this is going to be the simplest and easiest ever vegan chicken sandwich recipe. And we're gonna make it taste and feel just like McChicken. Let's go. So here are the ingredients. I'm making 2 sandwiches today. So there are many ways to make the meat part of it. You can make seitan with vital wheat gluten or the washed flour method. But this time I'm not looking for that meaty chew because we're keeping it McDonald's quality. So a piece of firm or extra firm tofu would be perfect. Make sure you get some that is large enough to make a patty-sized piece out of. For the breading or batter, I have plain all-purpose flour, cornstarch, baking powder, some sparkling water, and I've got a variety of spices here. Some smoked paprika or paprika powder, garlic powder, onion powder, ground black pepper, ground white pepper, optional turmeric and MSG, mustard paste. You can also use some Dijon mustard, and I have some celery salt. You can of course just get celery powder separately. For the sauce, I have some vegan mayo, mustard paste, and pinches of garlic powder and onion powder. And I have some lettuce and sesame buns of course. So that is everything. So the first thing you want to do is prep the tofu. I'm using firm tofu, so I need to get as much water out of it by pressing it with something flat and heavy. Even if you're using extra firm tofu, I still suggest that you do this. If you're going with seitan, I have made multiple recipes using washed flour seitan and vital wheat gluten, and I strongly suggest that you check out my seitan chicken teriyaki video for all the tips and tricks to make the most realistic vegan chicken. Now, this tofu pressing will take some time, so in the meantime, let's make our batter and vegan McChicken sauce. There's no dry batter in this recipe aside from some all-purpose flour, and there's no egg replacer in this recipe. And all the spices that I'm going to use to flavor our tofu chicken will go into the wet batter. You're welcome. For the batter, get a large bowl and add a cup of plain all-purpose flour, a cup of cornstarch, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Now to flavor it, I'm adding a 3rd tablespoon of celery salt. Again, you can just add kosher salt and celery powder separately. 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika or paprika powder, half a teaspoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, ground black pepper, and ground white pepper, optional turmeric. This is going to help the batter turn golden. And of course, MSG. Yes, we are achieving that fast food quality. You can even add some sugar if you want to take it to the next level. Just make sure it's vegan. Add 1 teaspoon of mustard paste. Again, you can use Dijon mustard. And finally, I'm adding some sparkling water to it. You can even use some beer just like I did in my fish and chips video. But I'm not looking for that beer flavor for this one. The reason I'm adding it is because the bubbles react with the baking powder and make it super extra crispy, and just thoroughly mix everything. Stir until there's no chunks of flour. Add more sparkling water as needed, but do so little by little since you don't want thin and watery batter. It should be pretty thick, just like a good pancake mix. And if you don't see black pepper everywhere, it's not right. That is it. There we have our vegan batter. This is way too much batter for just 2 patties, but I made this much so I can make some vegan tofu chicken nuggets with the leftover tofu that I'm going to have later when I cut the tofu. And on the side, get a plate of some all-purpose flour ready. Now, let's make the sauce. This is real simple and easy. Into a bowl, just add about half a cup of vegan mayo, half a tablespoon of mustard paste, and just pinches of garlic powder and onion powder to taste, and combine thoroughly. That is it. So easy. Then I'm going to chop or shred some lettuce. This is how the lettuce is served on the real thing, so why not? Oh, don't worry. For the presentation, we're not aiming for the McDonald's quality because this is just unacceptable. Now the tofu is pretty dry and is ready. I decided to use 2 blocks of tofu because I wanted each patty to be a bit thicker than the real one. As you can see, it's squashed and reduced by half, and this is now perfectly stiff and it won't break apart. Now I'm going to cut the tofu into patty-sized pieces simply by running the knife through the tofu and trim it. And also slice it horizontally so it has the desired thickness. I mean, I should have done this first to make it easier, but meh. There we have our tofu patties. And again, you'll have these leftover corner pieces unless you're making filet-o-fish, so you can dip them in the extra batter and make some tofu nuggets. Now, get a pot, fill it with oil halfway, no more than that. I'm using canola oil, but you can use any lightly flavored oil with a high smoke point. Yes, I'm deep frying the tofu, of course. This is not a health channel. Get it on medium-high heat. Drop a tiny bit of the batter into the oil, and if it floats, that means it's ready. Now, I'm going to coat the surface of our patties in all-purpose flour. It should still be a bit wet, so the flour should just stick to it pretty easily. Make sure you don't miss the side. This is going to make it easier for the wet batter to stick to the tofu. Then just dip it in the wet batter. And you want to go back to the dry flour and repeat a few times. This will make sure the outside batter will be thick and crispy. And then immediately dump the wet tofu into the oil very gently and away from you. Make sure to do this in batches. Drip some extra beautifully flavored batter on top to make an even thicker and crispier layer of batter. Make sure you let it swim in the oil so that the flour doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot. And you want to flip it over and deep fry it until each side is perfectly golden. Just like this. This is what you're looking for. It's looking and smelling just like fried chicken. Perfect. Now get it out and let it rest on top of a piece of paper towel to absorb the excess oil. And I like to immediately sprinkle just a touch of pink salt on top to make it even crispier. Repeat with the rest of your patty or patties and let them rest and cool. Now, our vegan chicken patties are done and we have everything. But hold on, one final step. Grab the buns, and I'm not gonna toast them, but microwave them for like 20 seconds and kind of steam them in it. Remember, you want these soft McDonald's quality buns. Can't forget this. That is it. It is time to assemble the sandwiches. There we have our McChicken sandwiches, but vegan and possibly better. Let's call it McTofu. The first thing I noticed was the smell. It smells just like when you open the little bag of McChicken. The vegan tofu chicken is beautifully seasoned and cooked. The sandwich overall tastes super close to the real stuff, and the patty is incredibly crispy. This is even crispier and more flavorful than McChicken's. See the black pepper? That's what it needs. I guess I need to make a separate video veganizing the king of nuggets. McNuggets next time. Alright guys, that is it for today. We definitely won in every aspect. The taste, the texture, the environmental, human rights, animal rights, and beyond. I hope you liked this video. If you make this sandwich, please post a picture and tag me on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.